People sometime in the past that I've encountered have feared time. They're looking at how old they are. They're looking at maybe my time has passed.
Mhm.
Does time affect you, how you progress, or how you move, or do you move to your own beat?
I haven't mastered this yet, but I set my intentions, provided it is God's will. I set my intentions to move at my own pace. You know, I mean, there are things that would, that does require, my attention. There are places that do require me being there. I have to take my daughter to school, things like that, right? But really, I try to move at a pace that's conducive and comfortable to, my lifestyle and my, yeah, in the direction that I want to go. And I would say that,
Yeah. So, like, have you ever had the fear of time, like just feeling like time was against you, and you're just at a time constriction where you're just like, man, I just don't know.
I'll tell you one thing I've learned to. Well, no, let me answer your question first.
Go ahead.
No, I am not. But I'm definitely working on becoming more aware of how valuable time is. You know, like even to the point of preparing for something. Like that energy that you're expending. The time that you are expending this energy to execute whatever. You know, the execution, yeah, that requires a certain amount of time. But just for me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't even want my thoughts, to be, uh, I guess, misused in terms of time, in terms of the energy exerted during that time and space.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that goes back to the proverbial saying, idle minds are dangerous, or idle minds can be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So for you, time is important,
Yes.
naturally.
Yes.
I think time is important to everybody, as much as they would like to say, no, I'm good. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I've heard people say, we all got to die one day. It ain't that serious, and that's okay for that person.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to make the most of every place or everything I'm doing. So I can't agree with that statement, because I'm like, I want to be everything I can be. If I was supposed to be a help to you, I want to be 100% help to you, not 50. You know what I'm saying? So I try to give everything I do with my time, everything I've got. Because when I leave I don't want anybody to regret or say we could have went another way. Because he didn't bring all of what he could have brought or that I heard he had.
Right.
And that's a matter of opinion sometimes, but still, I want to know within me, I gave my best at that particular time.
Yeah. I think. To add to that, if there's anything to add to that, I think it just really boils down to just being present.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, which is another pillar of mine that I think, or at least I hope, does show in through my business. This is being present. When someone walks through my door, I guess you would look at this as like customer service.
It is.
I try to give them my undivided, granted, taking into consideration that there's a lot of things that go on here, because people do lounge and whatnot. But when someone does walk through the door, I do try to make it a point to key in on, okay, what are your intentions when you walk through the door? Whether it's just to see it, whether it's just to, you were lost and you thought I was somewhere else or another place, or you had intentions to come here and get something. I try to be present.
And that's just being plain old courteous.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know too many people that let people walk in the house and don't acknowledge them.
Yeah.
So tell the people some of the best advice you received over your lifespan, your journey.
Some of the best
advice
that I've received. Keep God first. That's some of the best advice I've received and some of the best advice that I could offer. Learn to accept all things, you know, as it is. That's not saying that you have to agree, you know, but just be in a place where you are at peace enough to where you can just accept it and navigate, you know, through it or around it.
That was one of my biggest strongholds early in life. I say in my early 20s, coming out of my teens into my 20s, I transitioned from, you know, living with mom and dad to being on my own in the military.
Right.
Bro, when I got to the military, it was so many people I couldn't relate to, coming from the East Coast, coming from the West Coast. If they didn't say what I was used to, I was distancing myself all the way, just shutting down, staying away from people, like, because to me, we didn't have anything in common. And I was like, I am so closed-minded. It took I met an older girl, an older chick. She was in my unit, real cool. She's still my sister to this day. And she was talking to me about how closed-minded I am because she asked me to go to an art gallery. I was like, I don't paint. I ain't going to no art gallery. I'm finna go to the club. You know what I'm saying? That's just where my mind was.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you don't want to do what I want to do, then clearly we're not supposed to be hanging out. She opened my mind up to a whole new, like, I don't even know why I was so closed-minded, because I remember being here growing up. It was so many people that weren't like me, because everybody knows Fort Campbell and Clarksville is a melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't hang with enough soldiers' kids, because I was with like-minded individuals every day.
Yeah.
But going to the military broadened my horizons so well, so much so that I was able to find out more about me. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't even know how much I was limiting myself by distancing myself from those different types of people and personalities, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you in that.
Yeah. So, like I said, trust God, seek God, learn to become better at accepting things, which is kind of segue into something that you probably want to talk about anyway.
Go.
On the
we can go.
Expectations.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
So,
again, let me pose the initial question.
Okay, sure.
If you don't mind.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, they're too busy analyzing their instincts, and the instincts is too busy, you know, pulsing, trying to figure, you know, out the energy or the circumstance and everything. And it's just like, man, you know, your handshake is a little tighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little more rigid, brother. Like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you're safe. You know what I'm saying? Like we can come in love. Like there's no need for all of that. And so, yeah, man, I've that's really my makeup, my DNA.
That's dope. I think 100% of the time it's about how somebody's been conditioned. Right? So some of us haven't been conditioned for what you've experienced. So you were talking about the last time we spoke, extending grace, trying to extend grace, right? Mm-hmm. And I still have a limit for that. How much grace can you extend if they're not trying to receive it? You know what I'm saying? So I always, before I'm not able to extend any more grace, I'm almost always removing myself from the situation if I can't get no common ground from a person, because I have to remember, some people really are conditioned for confrontation. Conditioned for it. No matter how you try to mediate, I don't mind, quote unquote, looking weak to somebody that loud talks to me, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind that. That doesn't bother me. Say what you want. I know who I am. But I can't just stay there in it and continue to be beat up by words, right? And continuously take it. I walk away, even in relationships, I walk away, let them cool off. We come back and we talk like adults. Then I heard somebody tell me, well, what kind of pattern are you creating for your woman in a relationship if you walk away every time there's conflict? You're showing her that you're going to walk out on her. Made me take a step back, like, what? But in the military, what are we told? You get into a domestic situation, you walk away. Because when they come, they're taking the aggressor, and guess what the aggressor is? It's messed up law, but that's just how it is. So I'm like, man, from 100 different ways, I guess you just have to think and be smart. Here I am extending grace. And here this person is that's conditioned for confrontation and loves it. Not even to the point of loving it. Just used to it. They're conditioned for confrontation and you're trying to extend grace. Where's that line for you? Because I know you'll stand your ground. I know you're a grown ass man. You'll stand your ground.
Talking about me?
Yeah, you.
I don't I don't find myself in those type of situations where I'm not placed in those circumstances where I have to.
Right.
You know, I mean, I guess instinctively, yeah, I think anybody would if they feel like they needed to in order to survive. But for me, that's seriously a break glass in case of emergency type of situation. Like I already know what those emergencies are. So no matter wherever I'm at, if these short list of things don't transpire, or these short list of things aren't in any type of imminent danger or harm, that's yeah, and I already know that. So unless you know me in that type of level, you know, which you know,
right.
Majority of people won't. Yeah, I walk light. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even think about that. You know, ever. I mean, I know the world we live in. Things happen. Things can get wild, but I don't worry about ever being in a confrontation or an altercation with anyone.
Yeah, me either.
You know, yeah.
Me either. I'm sitting around and I'm like, if you don't feel like laughing and having a good time, man, you're in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a good time. You know.
100%. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you something that we were talking about off cam. Expectations. This your point of view. I asked you, do you have any expectations when it comes to relationships? Your answer was no.
Yeah.
Fill me in, please.
Well, I will. So, I say the reason why I say I don't have any expectations when it comes to relationships. We're talking about romantic relationships or platonic, or all the above, or.
I would go so far as to say all the above.
Okay, so this is all the above. Mm-hmm. Okay, so perfect. This is perfect. Because then, generally speaking, I don't have expectations because, for me, it keeps me in a place of appreciation. Whatever you extend, right, as that olive branch, I'm going to always be in gratitude. Sharing space. You know, I thank people for just sharing space with me. You know what I'm saying? So me not having any sort of expectation, it keeps me in that space where I'm going to always be appreciative of whatever you offer. I'm not going to quantify it. I'm not going to compare it. You know, because you're doing it from you. So thank you. You know, and it goes either way. You know, but also keeping in mind that you know we're human, and so we all have you know polarities. So if someone does me wrong, right, in a sense, I don't. I'm not easily caught off guard because it's like, well, I don't expect you to you know, I can't expect what you've done or what you decided to do, you know, based off of what I would have done. You know, that's not fair to you. You know what I'm saying? To put expectations on you, you know, is really projecting my standard of myself or what I think you should do. You see what I'm saying? If I just allow you to be who you are, just accept you for who you are, right? Completely Jermaine, then
there's no issue here.
There's no issue, you know, and then there's no need for me to put an expectation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna show me who you are, regardless of my expectations or not. I can say I expect you to be honest and trustworthy, but if you're not, then you're not. You know, your actions are gonna show me whether you are or whether you're not. So I don't need to expect that from you. I just accept you.
I feel you now. Now I see where you were coming from. Because before, my mind frame on expectations is because I have standards,
right,
for each level of relationship, right? And if I get rid of these standards, there goes my expectations as well. That's the mind frame I was on. But then the way you put it, where you're just saying just allow people to be who they are, well, where's the structure in that also? Because it's up to me. I'm the blueprint of how to love me. I am. I feel that the way I treat myself should, most times, show other people, you know, my parameters. These are his boundaries. Bro said he don't smoke, don't offer him none. You know what I'm saying? Bro don't drink. Why would you offer him that? You know, because of how I'm carrying myself. So if I'm the blueprint of loving me, I have to, in a relationship, give my expectations because they're not gonna see that up front. They don't always see that up front. Everybody doesn't pay attention to detail. That's just the way the world is. Right? So where I could say to you, I could walk in this store, see you chilling, doing your thing. Somebody else walk in behind me. Okay, yeah, we're gonna pause real quick. We got some guests coming in. Almost, not quite. They looking for somebody else. So back to what I said. So I could come in. Me and you agreed it already. Somebody you've never seen before, a new customer come in, and maybe something we say that they catch the end of rubs them the wrong way, but they don't address it. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to talk to us, but we do, because we know each other. But until we introduce ourselves and give them some kind of something to go off of, they're going to go off first instinct of whether to be offish or pull themselves in. But we can help them with that by giving them context, right? That's a standard in itself of showing somebody, hey, this is a good vibe. You can relax. You can kick back. Do you need something? That's setting standards, because you can either give them a good vibe or a bad vibe. So I have an expectation of people having a good time around me simply because that's what I provide. That's what all I was saying when it came to, I was like, man, do away with expectations. But your idea of no expectations is also awesome to me. Because I was like, man, you just allow people to be who they are. No conflict there.
No.
As long as it ain't rubbing me wrong, be yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm not even going to necessarily say as long as it's not rubbing me wrong.
Well, about rubbing me wrong, I'm talking about naturally affecting me.
Yeah, no,
in a big way.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, I understand where you're coming from.
Of course, we're not going to always agree, or, you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is yes. I just allow the space, or I allow you to be who you are.
We on the phone, we going back and forth, she tryna back out. I just reverse the psychology on her, I know she won't back down. She smoking reefer, she hit the weed and blow the shit back out. She said she coming to get it like that cause I'm blowing her back out. Medusa dick turned to a stone, just a dog with a bone. Roam and find my way home, don't care if it's wrong. Biting you, scratching you, moan. Lorenz, cut off Lil Jones, you by me alone. I finesse it, tryna stretch it, tryna see how many licks.